Hi YouTubers. Well, I thought first of all I'll show you the pipe that I've just finished making. It's out of some spalted wood. Spalted is a wood that's been sort of like a fungus in it, and it's dried out, and when it's polished it leaves a certain pattern on the wood. I think I need to bring it down here so you can see it better. Tip this little bit. Makes a lovely pattern in the wood, as you can see. And I haven't stained it, I've just used the wood as it is. Now, I thought at the beginning it was cherry wood, but I think it's maple. It's just some wood I had in the shed, but I think it's maple. It's come up quite nice, and I think this is one I'm going to keep for myself. And the stem is made from acrylic. Nice fit. Hole is directly at the bottom, but it should be. So that's my latest. The other thing I'd like to, let me just adjust this. The other thing I'd like to talk about is adaptations. These producers that adapt, let me just fill my pipe, adapt classics to the modern day. They take Sherlock Holmes, Jane Austen, and Dickens and so forth, and they put them into a modern context, or try to. They take a tale which is supposed to be from the Georgian or the Victorian or the Edwardian period, and they put it into the 21st century, and that to me ruins the tale. Excuse me a minute. By the way, I'm Alan. I should have introduced myself first of all. And a bit of housekeeping. I'm just smoking an old cob. Missouri Measham cob, just this rather unusual shaped stem. And the mixture is called Holland 2, which is a mixture by Enrico Merola, who sent it to me from Italy. One of his old mixtures, and it suits me nice and mild. Anyway, I digress. To go back to what I was saying, adapting series that are supposed to have been made, or they were placed in the Victorian era, takes away all the charm from that particular story. I mean, they've made a couple of Sherlock Holmes. Let me just change this a little bit. One is an American series, another is a British series. They put it into the modern era, 21st century. Ruined it as far as I'm concerned. This is only my opinion. I'm sure others will be quite happy with it. But to me, the charm of watching Sherlock Holmes was the fact, for one thing, he smoked a pipe. Nobody smokes a pipe in these films anymore. They're not allowed to unless it's made in the period that it was supposed to be made in, the Victorian or Edwardian period. But the charm again is watching horses and carriages instead of cars. The fact that there are no cell phones, there are no computers, no laptops, no televisions, no radios. It was a time when they relied only on the mind. Now in the new series of the Sherlock Holmes, of course, they're using laptops and they're using cell phones, or what we call mobile phones in this country. They have a sloppy form of dress which has been lost since we moved into the 20th century, and now getting even worse in the 21st century. The ladies, the women, don't have the same charm as they had in those days. Of course, they got more liberty, which they should have, of course. And we all want equality for the ladies. But there's a certain charm to seeing it as it was, as it used to be in the old days. And imagine what it must have been like to live in those days. I mean, it was very, very difficult, very hard for the poor. And that's also shown up in these original versions of the tales. So please, producers, don't think you're improving these tales when you're putting them into the 21st century. Because in my opinion, you're just ruining them. You can't improve upon perfection. You can't improve upon Dickens, you can't improve upon Conan Doyle, you can't improve upon Jane Austen. What they made was how the world was in their time. And it's just nice to be able to see how the world was in their time, not in this time. Well, I've had my little grouse. So with that thought in mind, I'd like to know what other people's ideas are on this, how other people feel about adaptations on television and film. I saw Agatha Christie not long back, which was taken from which should have been around about the 1920s, and they put it into a more modern era. It just wasn't the same, just wasn't the same. So with that thought in mind, I'd like to leave you all now and just say thanks for watching. See you all again sometime in the near future, and I'd just like to know your views on this. So this is Alan saying bye now.